I say that now. Oh, here we are. So we're live. Hey guys, Ted Bogert with the Ted Show with my really wonderful, amazing friends, Renee and Jeff Funk. They're awesome. They're giving. They're real estate gurus. They're marketing geniuses. And so we're going to talk about couples because they work together, concierge mindset, which they obviously have, and collaboration. So welcome to the show, guys. While I'm looking at this, tell them a little bit about you.
Hi there, Ted, and hi to all of the Ted Show audience. So my name's Renee Funk, and this is...
I'm Jeffrey Funk.
We are team leaders of the Funk Collection, brokered by eXp Realty. We are super excited to sit down and chat with you today, Ted. I'm curious, what's going on in your world too, right? Like, how are we navigating with the new COVID, and what's happening in your world, Ted?
Well, you see, I mean, here we are. We're not on Zoom to Facebook, and we're not in person at the Citrus Club. So we are learning how to maneuver through this. And of course, I have to give you a shout out. I try to give you a shout out every chance I get because I was going down like a little baby, kicking and screaming, and said I had no desire whatsoever to have a meeting or a discussion on technology. How cold is that? And you're like, okay, well, you do you, but I think you would really enjoy it. You were kind as always.
Oh, we're going to go there, Ted. Okay.
I love it. I just, you know why? Because I'm Italian. I'm a touchy-feely, got to hug everybody person, not in COVID, but in general. And I just thought there's no way I can have a real conversation with people across the computer. It just doesn't make any sense. You were right. I was 1,000% wrong.
Well, connectivity and culture and really building relationships in a remote, accessible, and virtual world. It's not our first time at the rodeo here on that topic. And so when we were scheduled to do a previous show right before, everything kind of hit, and you said, well, we'll wait until we can get back together. Okay, but let's do now.
We'll do both. You can buy us a drink next time we're in there. So
well,
it's really,
absolutely.
It's really cool seeing everybody adapt to things that we've been doing for years. We were talking the other day about, video tours and stuff, and 360 tours are what we've been doing for the last couple of years. But we were doing video tours back in 2007 when I first went full time into the business, because we were dealing with so many people that were out of the state, out of the country, and with Orlando being so transient, we were doing these things. So it's 13 years now of doing video.
You see, I didn't even know that existed 13 years ago.
It wasn't easy.
That's the problem. But I love the fact that you guys are always ahead of the curve. You and I were talking before we went live, Renee, that we think we're one of the few people in Orlando that has the LinkedIn Live beta, because that's been an interesting challenge for both of us, trying to figure that out, because each platform is different. So no matter how technologically advanced you are or how much of a novice you are, that platform is completely different to work with. So you have to be kind of committed to figuring each one out. This particular StreamYard allows me to do all of it with one click of a button. Not perfect, but it's better than what I was using previously. So thank you for challenging me.
Well, listen, being trailblazers and really pushing outside of comfort level, and anytime you're beta testing anything, it's not pretty, right? I think the real conversation to be had there, though, is who allows the fear to come in and let the fear in the driver's seat, which stifles that growth, because it's about the lessons we're learning. So I know, like, we talk about LinkedIn Live or whatever it is, there's a bigger picture going on right now as well. We know that we're all facing a crisis globally, and I understand that. But on a business side, we got to get the fear out of the driver's side, and we got to get in action. And it's going to be messy. We don't have all the answers, but that's okay, because that's how we learn.
We do learn. And so tell me, that since you brought that up, obviously I was going to ask you, I think it is messy. So tell us, I think people are always looking for somebody else's perspective on how they're handling and dealing with the messy and planning for the post-messy, which we all have to admit is going to be a little bit messy even when it opens up. What are you all doing to stay creative and really work on that during and planning for the future?
Go for it.
Oh, well, we've been doing a lot. Well, as soon we were one of the first offices probably to shut down. We kind of didn't really see the need for people to come in or for agents to be intermingling all the time when we were already virtual. So, excuse me, we closed down pretty early. We've been doing 360 tours for a long time. We have multiple 360 cameras, so that's kind of nice. We did a Facebook Live on them yesterday, actually.
I finally dragged this one out to get on and do a tech review because he's been using these platforms for so long. I said, listen, get what's in here out. I need people
so
to hear,
smart.
like, get it out, because he has all these cameras. And then he pulled out, going back to, you talk about 07 and 2010, he had this big bucket of tools that were needed in order to facilitate video at that time, as compared to how easy is it now? Because really, this is all you need, right?
So easy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just like to make sure
No,
everyone.
I love that. I love that I love that you're doing those reviews. So kudos to Renee again for pushing that button, because I think that there are people that want to know from people they feel like are on at least close to their same level of technology advice or technology competency. Because I don't want to listen to somebody who's got a degree and then just, wrote 75 programs in COBOL, if they even use that language, or, just everything's coding, Ted. I can't communicate with you. I need you to dumb it down to the dumbest level and then go further in the basement in order for you to get the information to me. So kudos to you.
You're used to dumbing it down for me, because on the tech side, listen, the only reason I'm at all techie is because I have this guy next to me.
That's
so
nice.
He's used to dumbing it down because I don't get it.
Yeah, well, what we've been doing is we were doing this for a while, and we do Facebook Lives with the 360 camera and do a complete walkthrough on a home. So now we have our properties showcased on a Matterport or iSpy 360 or Ricoh Tours 360, and then we're doing a full 360 video where you'll talk about the ceilings, look at the ceilings, look at the floors, look all around. There's nothing to hide. It's not like when we're taking pictures and
there's composition.
Yeah, you should see what's going on behind the camera. There is no behind the camera. It's like you're behind the camera and they can see you. So there's nothing to hide there. People can get a great feel of what's going on. And what we're finding is we're getting more showings since we started doing that again. And the people are much deeper in the funnel. They really know that the house has been so documented that they're really coming in there for verification at that point.
Well, because that's such a great point. So on the real estate side, a lot of times the quick photo that you might have done or had done, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it on your on your phone. I understand that, and you have to do what you have to do. But the cameras that you're talking about, I have experienced Matterport before. I know that gives you every nook and cranny you could possibly want. So you really are physically there. You're seeing it all. I would imagine that would give the buyer they feel better. And then the seller feels good because you have really given them what they normally couldn't get in a market like this.
Absolutely.
What I am excited about, as I do like to focus on silver lining, no matter what we're going through, there's always a silver lining and a lesson, is that I do believe that the consumer adoption of some of these tools, whether it's any of the video conferencing that we're all now utilizing, and the kind of forward thinking video tools that we're using to stay connected while we're all at home, I'm really excited about how that will bring efficiencies to the real estate industry. And I'm very excited to hopefully see a demand from sellers for the bar to be raised as it relates to the tools that listing agents provide for their sellers, because now the sellers will be able to see it, because there's a lot of operation out of necessity right now. Yes. So my hope and excitement is that those will stay in place as a standard, the way that we serve our customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. All right. So I have to ask couples, right? So I picked the topic because it sounded pretty. And you guys are a working couple. I think there's a lot of working couples. Either you're in the same industry or you're sequestered and locked down at home and you're both working. So talk about how you guys always, to me, you work so well together. Look, I know there's a crazy side to everything, but you are a cohesive group. You're a cohesive couple, but now you're forced to be in that. Did that change anything? Did you have to go, all right, I need a different bedroom,
No.
Jeff? How did that impact you, if it did at all?
Well,
Zero.
Zero. I mean, right after we met, we started working together pretty quick, and we've always had a very close relationship. We've been doing this now together for
our anniversary is coming up in a week. How'd that happen? It still feels like January to me, but we've been working together for about 20 of our 22 years together.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
Ted, you haven't been to see our true brick and mortar office where literally we have about 1,000 square feet in Windermere, downtown Windermere, and we have our own internal office within the office, and we share the same room. We've always operated that way. So we've actually had a lot of conversation during shelter in place that, whoa, this probably could be challenging for some people, but we've just always operated this way.
It has been really easy for us. For a long time, we worked from home. So working from home, it kind of feels second nature to us, and working together, I wouldn't want it any other way. So it's simple, easy peasy, man.
I love you.
All right. I see. That's what I think people need to see that couples can work together. I think right now everybody's like, I need you in another house. Where can we find another house for you? Because it's a new thing for most couples to be like, I'm in the bedroom, Stacy's in the dining room. Our kids are working in each of their bedrooms. And we have 2 dogs, so you can't really go out and work in the family room, living room area at all. And so you're just having to learn, and it can be difficult if you're not used to that. So kudos to you guys.
The kids are learning.
How are the kids adapting?
Well, we're navigating this new and uncharted territory with the fact that we have a 9 and 13-year-old schooling from home. I will say that our school has been unbelievably amazing. So that has also been a seamless transition. But the other day, Jeff had emergency board meeting for the charity he serves on, Edgewood's Children's Ranch in Orlando. And they had a last minute emergency board meeting on a video conference at the same time that I was doing a live with the CEO of Florida Realtors, Margie Grant. And then Sam, our teenager, he had a pivot on his private tuba lesson. And we had a torrential downpour, and Sam was playing tuba in the garage while we were doing our business. This is how we make it happen.
It worked.
It worked, right?
It worked. You make it work. Everybody, but to answer your question, the kids are doing remarkably well with everything. I mean, they've adapted super well. They've been doing well in school. So good.
We have our moments.
We have our moments.
Listen, their birthday, because our boys were born on the same day, 4 years apart, and it's Saturday. That's been a bit of a pull at my heartstrings for anybody who's had to celebrate a child's birthday during quarantine. Man, I know we're positive, but that's kind of a bummer.
It's such a bummer, and it's the same. I feel bad for the kids graduating in 2020, like all of the ceremonies and the prom and the things that they are missing on.
Yeah.
Just so much. And there's no way to deal with it. You just have to figure out how you can best maneuver through it. But it's very hard to tell that to a kid or to a graduate who's only going to graduate from high school once or college once. UCF just did a virtual graduation, or is doing one today or yesterday, and that's you want to turn the tassel over, you want to throw your cap in the air. You don't get to do those things. So I would imagine that any young adult or child is definitely having a difficult time. Same with brides, which I had a whole show about. God bless them, because that's been a nightmare. All right, so I have to talk about Concierge Service with you, because you have that on there, and I pulled that from you. First of all, I think a lot of people say that, but they don't mean it. I know for a fact that you both mean it, but talk a little bit about why that is on your site and why that's important to you.
Well, serving our customers is obviously at the forefront. In the world of Jeff and I, our first customers are our agents. While we serve them, we can implement processes and services available that they will elevate the service that they give to the customer. So it's really just a timeline of events that we have in place. Concierge service for us means that we are a resource for our customers no matter what the need is. One example that I'll share with you, because it's just top of mind of what we're doing right now, is, of course, everyone's been making, and this is in the world, I'm guessing, you make your well-being phone call checks, right? Like we talk about picking up your phone, going through your contacts, start with A, go to C. You can call every human being you know right now because we have a global relate. We're all going through this at the same time.
Right.
In those conversations, apart from how are you safe? Are you healthy? Do you have enough supplies? One of the things we've talked about is be that connector, right? So be that concierge connector where you say, do you have a need that I can help be a connector for? Or do you have a service or a product or anything you're doing on a day-to-day that I can be a connector to help you serve someone else who has a need? And so it's not about like concierge service in real estate. Of course, there's all sorts of things we can check the box on. It's about the bigger picture on how can we be the resource, which is kind of like the mayor of your town, right?
Yeah.
You know, to be that community pillar that someone can come to. It's way bigger and much more on the macro than it is on the micro.
I agree. I think that people who can be the resource. Like I want people to call me when they, Ted, do you have an in at the Omni or the Ritz? Ted, do you know a mechanic? I get those calls and emails and text messages all the time. And people are like, I don't know how you do it. Well, I don't know how you don't. I want to be the resource. I want to be top of mind. I want people to think of me. Oh, Ted's the guy who connects everybody. He'll have a connection for me. He'll know someone at a place because first of all, it's a service thing. I'm a servant. I love the servant leadership thought process. So you're helping people out. Do I get business from it? I don't know. Sometimes not, but that's not why we do it. I think that planting the seeds is so important. And what you're talking about being that resource is all about planting those seeds. And I think people don't realize that. Why would you want them? Like in your case, if I have a question about, I don't know, the Ritz-Carlton, because I'm going back. I want to go back there so bad. I need it to open.
We got a connection there.
It's my favorite. You see, there it is. I want them to call. You would want them to call you and not another realtor friend. I would want them to call me. I would want them to say, hey, Ted, do you know anybody at the Ritz? Because I don't care what your belief system is. That is just putting some amazing juju out in the universe or wherever. And it also feels good. I mean, it's not all altruistic. It feels good to help people. So I love that.
I'll share one tip that our team, the Fun Collection, has found great success with, because being a resource is everything. But often overlooked is the opportunity to call everyone you know, your sphere of influence, previous customers, whomever it is that you know in your world, and say, who has been a phenomenal vendor, landscaper, plumber, any service provider that you've worked with, hair salon, nail salon. When you have a phenomenal experience, could you let me know? Because I'm always looking to improve and increase more of my contact list that I can share out with other people.
100%.
So go at it that way instead of being the one that always says, well, because someone's going to call and ask you, who's your favorite landscaper? That's great. But how about increasing your list, right? I
love that. I think that's a really good one. And hey, anybody out? I actually have a good landscaper now, but that's a whole other topic.
Oh my God.
The pool, anything that's contract work like that, like independent contractor work like that, that's outside, that has to do with a painter. Like I'm finally learning the ones, but it takes a long time. And so being that resource, of course, you know, you want to be a little bit selfish because I don't want them to get so busy that they can't come do my stuff. And I've had that happen. But you know, it's all good. All right, let's talk about collaboration. And the way that I want to talk about that is, what are you all doing to? And I know you've touched a little bit on it, but what are you doing during COVID, during the lockdown, differently to continue to maintain your collaborative relationships, your referral relationships, your vendor relationships? You mentioned calling, wellness checks is definitely one. But have you guys taken up anything, done anything new? And how are you keeping in touch with everyone? You are busy, so how do you manage that?
Well, our team, we've always met in the cloud-based environment 4 days a week, and then we met 1 day in person. And we've extended that to now we're meeting 5 days a week, first thing in the morning. We have a little a team huddle where we discuss the triumphs, the challenges, the questions over the last 24 hours. Everybody gets to learn. It's a great collaborative environment. Renee, you've been doing the another huddle afterwards, doing that for another half an hour.
Yep.
One of the awesome things that we just recently did is we did a happy hour for our group.
Oh, so you remember hashtag 407 day? It was a couple weeks ago to support local business that were specifically takeout and restaurant orientation. So this was more, well, both collaboration, but also to really hopefully continue to evolve the culture on our team and with our agents. We partnered with Orlando Brewing Company, downtown Orlando, because they are still open on a takeout basis only. And we like magical moments. Jeff and I are proud partners of the Orlando Magic. So anytime we can bring in some special magical moments, we get happy about that.
Love it.
So we had a special delivery to 30 of our real estate agents that was a 6-pack of organic craft beer from Orlando Brewing Company. They didn't know it was coming. So that showed up on our agent's door. And then what we did is we did a video conference happy hour while Orlando Brewing came on our conference, and they gave us a tour and a beer tasting school on our happy hour.
I love that.
I figured
it was so much fun.
That is so creative. That is amazing, because that is thinking outside the box of the limitations. Having the relationships, which you do, obviously. Orlando Brewing is an amazing place. They're great people. It's the right time to do that, because then you're supporting local, you're supporting Orlando Brewing, you're supporting the community, and you're still staying top of mind with your relationships, your partners. And so that is awesome.
Ted, I got to tell you, though, in being quite direct. So remember, going back to when the three of us were supposed to do our TED show in real life before COVID really hit, and you said, oh, no, let's not do it remote. Let's go ahead and wait until we can get together. I get it, because sometimes the mindset of remote takes a minute. The same thing happened. So I called Orlando Brewing, which Jeff and I have hosted events there a few times before. They're great to host an event when you physically can go. I called them up and said, here's the idea I have brewing.
So to speak.
And John, who's amazing, I'm going to give him a shout out. He has been so great. But at first John said, because this was 2-3 weeks ago, he said, Renee, can we just wait until this all blows over? And I said, no, John, I'm sorry. Let's think about it like this. And he said, I don't know. And I said, we'll do it after in person too. So I think that that's indicative to say is like, always expand your mind and think, deal with what we have in front of us today. Don't wait. We're not waiting for anything. Get in action now.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's so important. I think that we think it's going to be, we don't know what it's going to be when it quote unquote opens back up. But I think a lot of people are not planning for that even. And so you have to really be on your game and continue to be positive, continue to be innovative and collaborative like you are. I mean, that is such a brilliant idea. And yet you are working with another business. You're serving so many good purposes by doing that. You're creating the culture. You're thanking your referral source, your relationships. You are helping small business. I mean, those are the kinds of things that I think will help, if people are doing them, will help us get to whatever that new normal is. Because you're going to have to listen, restaurant people, they know it. You're not just going to open the door and then all of a sudden it's going to be the same. You're going to have, are we eating with our masks? Are we, how are we going to take our drink? Do we take our mask off and take our drink? Like we don't know what's going to happen.
Everything's going to change.
Prepare.
Everything's going to change. And the agent, we had a conversation about this. The agents that are waiting for things to go back to normal are going to be waiting for a really long time, because it's
not going back. There's a new normal, and who knows what it is. I don't even want to pretend to think I know. What I know is this moment right now, and I know how to act in this moment. And so get into action and just adapt to what's in front of you right now.
Absolutely. All right. So how do people reach you? See how fast that goes? How do people reach out to you? How do people get
one of the things that's something we really want to talk about.
You got 4 minutes.
We got 4 minutes. We just launched a brand new website.
So you did. I would have put it on there. I'm sorry.
You did.
You do. Yeah.
Okay. I did.
RealtyInOrlando.com. We launched a brand new rendition of the website on Friday. We worked on it since September. Yeah, it's been. Wow. It's a fully custom website. Some awesome things. One of the things that we're really proud of is we actually have school data on our website. So we went to the counties. Accurate. We got all the maps of all the schools. We load them up onto our website, and you can search every single school. You can search, so I want this high school, this middle school, this elementary, and it'll tell you which schools are in there.
Why is it different though? Because it's based on geotags.
We geotag everything now on our website. So we did a search the other day for Windermere High School, and we came up with 70 more homes on our website. So it was almost a
as compared to the MLS.
Yeah, as compared to the MLS. So we have some tools on there that are actually more robust for our customers than that we have as agents on the MLS. So really cool.
Y'all are always thinking ahead, which I love. You're innovators, which I also love and respect. I got to learn this whole geo data. I know enough to be dangerous, but then there's all this tags and meta tags that I haven't figured that out yet. I need somebody to just educate me. What I really need is somebody to do it, but I want to learn so that I'm not in the dark all the time. I love spending time with you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for pushing me, Renee, on this. It was a good push and a solid push, and it changed the way I did business because of COVID and because of you. So thank you very much for that. All right, Jeff and Renee Funk.
Bye, Ted. Take care, everybody. Stay safe,
Thank you guys so much.
We'll do this again in person one weekend.
All right. I am counting on it.
Okay.
Bye, Ted.
Take care. Thank you.